Hello friends, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. For those of you that are new, my name is Odie, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Glamlite Paint Pro palette. Now, in my last video, I reviewed the original palette, so if you want to check that out, I will have that link down in the description box. And I'm also going to attempt to insert an iCard. I've never done that, so I'm going to try and do that in this video. Yeah, let me show you both palettes together. So this one's the original, and then this is the Pro. Right away you can see there is a size difference. The Pro is a little bit smaller, and while they both are rainbow palettes, they do have different colored shadows in each. They're not exactly the same when it comes to the colors. I'm going to create this look using the Pro palette. At the end of the video, I will give you my review on this, and then I'm also going to compare both palettes to each other. So yeah, that's it for this intro. Let's get into the tutorial. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna prime my eyelid with the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna start off with this brush right here. This is a Maybelline brush. And I'll try to zoom in so you can see the shape of it. And I'm going to dip into Crimson Red. Okay, and I'm going to be placing the red in my crease. I'm trying to create this elongated kind of winged out shape that I have over on this side. So hopefully both sides match. Let's start. So I think that looks good. What I did is just pack in the color or the shadow where I wanted it, just so it's nice and opaque. And then I just lightly blended it upwards like this. And also kind of winged it out like that. I'm gonna move on. Next, I'm gonna take this BH Cosmetics brush. And I'm going to be dipping in Tangerine. Okay, so tapping the excess off, and I'm just going to take Tangerine and place it just right on the edge of the red here. So I'm placing the shadow first in place, tapping it in, and then when I have it where I want it, I'm going to slowly blend it out. I'm gonna go back with the Maybelline brush and just grab a little bit more of that Crimson Red and just build that back up. I feel like I lost a little bit of the red when I was placing the orange. So I just want to build that red back up just a little bit and then blend it into the orange. Perfect. So switching brushes, I'm taking the Urban Spa eyeshadow crease brush, this one right here, and I'm going into Yellow Ochre. I'm going to place this above the Tangerine shade. Okay, that looks really nice. That yellow really built up nicely. So right away I have to say that I do notice a difference in the pigmentation between the Paint Pro palette and the original Paint palette. This one definitely is more pigmented and the colors build up pretty quickly. Before I move on, I'm just gonna go back in and build up Tangerine just a little bit more. I feel like I always kind of lose the shadows when I'm trying to build on them. There, that's better. Oh, you know, I try really, really hard to sit up straight, but I feel like I always end up hunchback. I have the worst posture. Now I'm gonna take this pencil brush from BH Cosmetics, and I'm gonna be using Indigo. I'm just picking up the shadow on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to just pencil it in right in this area. And I'm going to do this slowly and carefully because I really want to get it in the same place as I did on this eye. So now that I've placed the shadow where I wanted it, right here in the outer crease, I'm going to very carefully just blend it out a little bit into the red, and I'll probably go back in with the red afterwards just to make sure that everything is nicely blended, just like on this eye. I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Both sides look pretty even. I can move on now, and this is going to be the hard part. I'm going to try and cut my crease, and hopefully both eyes are going to look even, equal. We shall see. And I'm using this brush right here, and I'm just going to be using my Age Rewind concealer to cut my crease. Okay, here we go. Okay, does that look even to you guys? Well, we're gonna leave it there. I'm moving on. I'm going to actually go back in with that BH Cosmetics pencil pencil brush. And I'm gonna dip into Indigo again, and I'm just gonna blend the color, just bring it in a little bit more, build it up and make it a little bit more opaque. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, now I'm taking this BH Cosmetics brush. Now, I believe this is called a shader brush. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just went online last night and try and search up what the actual names of my brushes are. And so, yeah, I think that's what this is. So anyways, I'm gonna take this brush and I'm gonna dip into Viridian Green. And I'm placing that next to the Indigo. Oh, fall out. No. Okay. I don't think I got any on myself. Crisis averted. Next, I'm going to try and use the brush that came with the palette, this purple one right here, and I'm going to try and pick up the lime green. I'm going to place that right in the middle of my lid. I'm going to switch brushes. I'm just going to clean off the brush that I used to pick up the, what was it, Viridian Green. And I'm going to use that for the lime green. See if that builds it up a little bit better. Okay, yeah, that looks much better. I'm gonna clean this one off and try and use it again with one of the shimmers. These shimmers didn't really pick up very well with my other brushes, but maybe this one will work better on them. So I'm gonna go into cadmium yellow. Yeah, so these shimmery shades are really hard to pick up with brushes, so I'm just gonna do what I did on this side and grab my trusty sponge tip applicator and pick some of that cadmium yellow up and place that in my inner corner. Much better. So yeah, these shimmers are very unique to me. They are definitely a different formula than the ones that were in the original paint palette. They don't pick up very well with a brush, at least for me. They haven't picked up very well with a brush, but they work really nice with my finger and with my sponge tip applicator. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back in and try and blend the lime, viridian green, and indigo. I'm gonna try and blend them together a bit better. Okay, I don't think that blended any better, but whatever, we're gonna move on. I'm going to take my sponge tip applicator and go back into the cadmium yellow. And I'm just gonna place that in my inner lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna take the other end of the sponge tip applicator and I'm gonna dip into cobalt blue. That looks really nice. I just went in and blended the yellow with the red and the blue. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I forgot my inner corner. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I'm gonna take another sponge tip applicator and I'm gonna pick up titanium white and just placing that in my inner corner. That is really nice. I really like that titanium white for the inner corners. Just going back in with the cadmium yellow. And just gonna place a little bit on my brow bone here, just to add some sparkle and shine. Oh, I don't even know if you can see it. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good when it comes to the eyeshadows, so I'm gonna leave it there. And yeah, I'm gonna go off camera and finish up the rest of my face, and I will be back and let you know my final thoughts on the palette. Okay, so this is the finished look, and I have to say that I am loving this. I think this turned out really nice. I'm gonna have to pat myself in the back because I think I did a pretty good job. So yeah, let's talk about the palette. So right off the bat, I do have to say that I think this one outperforms the original paint palette, especially when it comes to the mattes. As you saw, the mattes are definitely more pigmented in this palette. They also blend out really nicely. So yeah, definitely prefer the mattes in this palette. When it comes to the shimmers, they're a different formula for sure. They are nice, but like you saw in the video, they do not pick up very well with a brush. I did not wet my brush. I thought about wetting my brush and trying to use them. I didn't do that because the texture and the formula on these shadows, I don't know, they seem to be a little bit moist. I know some people don't like that word, I'm sorry. But there's a little bit of moisture in them. They are kind of creamy, a little bit flaky. So yeah, I didn't want to wet my brush and dip into them. I was worried that that might, you know, mess with the shadows themselves. So I opted to just use a sponge tip applicator, but they also work really nicely with your fingers. just not so much with a brush, but they're still really pretty shimmery shades. Do I like these better than the shimmers that were in the original paint palette? I don't know. I feel like I like them both equally. They both look really nice on the eyes, which is what I'm interested in. So yeah, I think once I take everything into account, I definitely think that the Glamlite Pro paint palette, this one right here, outperforms the larger one. So if you were to choose one or the other, I would say go with the smaller one. Those are my final thoughts on the palette. That is my review. I hope you guys find it helpful. Now I'm gonna take my son right here and we're gonna go sit in the backyard. Yeah? Okay. We're gonna go sit in the backyard and I'm gonna show off my beautiful look to the squirrels and the birds. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, please take care and bye.